and I'll carry on in glory. When I grow cold, I will shield you from the darkness. When the walls around us quake, I will hold back all the monsters until our bones begin to break. When I've lost, I'll have to leave you, and the tears will fall like rain. If I'm taken by the shadows, I will spare you from the pain. Foolishly, I let the darkness creeping in this restless room of Sunday's being. I confess to you the dark has taken me prisoner. I am corrupt beyond any rescue. I forsake.
No.
Follow my instructions. There is no time for introduction. We was the ones that made us. Don't be the one to save us. Around, welcome to the circus. Power down, are you feeling nervous? His voice wants to deceive you. My voice just wants to lead you. Well, the surface, and without purpose, doing its purpose. You're your servant. Surprise me, this machine. Prevent keeping your composure. Hold your breath, something's moving closer. I'll take your place inside you. Well, the surface, and without purpose, doing its purpose. You're your servant.
Next. Disconnect. If I do too, press play.
Was coming. No, he
Well, I could
was
blunt,
coming.
you know.
Jake thought. The very fabric of the building around him started shaking. Brickwork and cement crumbling and falling apart as a large hand, fingers ending in pointed crimson claws, wrenched open the roof with ease. Looking up in horror, Jake saw that the sky was a dark shade of red. Towering over it, a colossal crimson-clad warrior looked in on the frightened researcher, horns protruding from its head. Maybe because SCP-999 was still nearby, the blob was offering him some kind of positive mental protection. Otherwise, the mere sight of the gigantic monstrous being above him would have driven Jake and any other mortal mad. The Scarlet King was upon him.
Where is he?
Came a booming voice that sounded like hundreds of screams overlaying each other. The Scarlet King's gaze seemed to shift slightly, turning from Jake as he lay helplessly on the ground to look at SCP-914. The machine had fully activated and couldn't be stopped now. Either through foreknowledge or some kind of cosmic sense, the eldritch monstrosity seemed to know exactly what the device did.
No. What have you done?
The Scarlet King roared. He raised a gargantuan fist and brought it straight down through the air towards Jake. He couldn't run. The Scarlet King was so vast in size that there was no way the researcher would be able to evade the oncoming strike. Jake raised his arms in a futile attempt to protect himself, despite knowing that the Scarlet King's fist
All I
would
have to
likely
do is
plunge
just
through
hit
the
him,
very surface of the
and
earth
he'll go
below.
to void.
But then
Like a
again,
wait
maybe
being
the
here.
junior researcher just
You
didn't
think
want
I kill
to
is not a
watch.
meal
There was
to
a
my
pause.
void.
The strike never came.
No
It
one
was only when
is
Jake built up the
immune.
courage to open his eyes that he saw what had happened. The long tendril of orange slime had reached out of SCP-914, forming a protective barrier between Jake and the Scarlet King. Suddenly, with all the force of a tidal wave, the newly refined SCP-999 came pouring out of the clockworks. The tickle
Before I
monster's
send
mass had
myself to the
increased.
void,
It was thousands, if not millions of
I
times bigger.
can
Swept aside
escape.
and out of harm's way by
Because
the
I
orange
created a
slime,
void.
the junior researcher
But
looked up in
682,
amazement as
Sci-Fi,
SCP-999
Peanut,
reached up into
the
the sky,
whole
able to
SCP.
look its supposed father face to
No,
face.
they cannot
The Scarlet
escape.
King recoiled in
No,
horror as the tickle
not
monster
even other
engulfed him,
creatures
pulling the cosmic
or
crimson
intimate
plunderer
beings
into an
like
embrace.
me
As they
can
hugged,
escape
there
that
seemed to
void.
be a change
I
in the
am
Scarlet
the
King.
only one who
The
can.
eldritch monster had spent
So I
all
made
his
it.
time since the dawn of creation as a cruel, nihilistic conqueror. He had killed and
You just send
enslaved,
him to the
devoured
void and
ancient
done.
gods, and slaughtered
Become a
entire
threat
planes
anymore.
of existence in his quest to annihilate everything. But now, held tight by its gelatinous son, his heart shifted. It was as if the Scarlet King's eyes had been opened, and he could see the beauty of creation. The sheer, overwhelming goodness of SCP-999, enhanced by SCP-914, undid the evil of the Scarlet King himself. Only, it didn't stop. As the orange slime engulfed the Scarlet King in a hug, he began to be unmade. The tickle monster, without even trying to harm its father, had been made into such a beacon of pure positivity by the clockworks that the Scarlet King simply ceased to exist. He was unwoven, not killed, but rendered without any purpose. He barely even felt any pain, but at the same time was removed from this and every other universe. And still, it didn't stop. The newly recreated SCP-999 spread across the world like an orange flood. The Scarlet King's armies, the other SCPs, even the few surviving human beings were all wiped away. SCP-999 spread to every corner of the Earth, turning the blue planet orange as he coded it, purging every single scrap of negativity, all hatred, all cruelty, all evil, even that of the SCP Foundation itself. The entire world was unmade by the tickle monster, not out of malice, but so that nobody anywhere could cause the Scarlet King to reemerge. At the same time, all that was left was a planet-sized ball of orange slime, lonely spinning through space. The Scarlet King. It says something that in a multiverse full of terrifying, world-ending monsters like the Sealed King, the Hanged King, a lot of kings, come to think of it, the Crimson Khan himself overpowers them all. But today we want to pose and hopefully answer an interesting question. How actually powerful is the Scarlet King? After all, he's apparently the greatest threat the Foundation has ever faced. We'd be fools to not analyze what we're dealing with as an adversary here. Despite his exploits being well documented, there's a lot about the Scarlet King's personal life we still don't know. What is he doing to pass the time in that multiversal void while awaiting his minions to open a portal into our world? Does he have friends? Fulfilling hobbies? Do you think he watched Squid Game like the rest of us? We just don't know. Because of these gaps in our knowledge, we're taking a pretty wide definition of power here. We're not only going to analyze the presumed abilities of the king himself, but also his reputational and institutional power, including the abilities of the allies and henchmen in his thrall. And of course, to keep things balanced, we're also going to take a look at his weaknesses, both potential and confirmed, to get a bigger picture of the net power of the Scarlet King. So grab your prophetical Davite tablets and find a grungy occult warehouse near you. We're gonna find out just how powerful the King of the Darkness Below really is. First things first, what exactly is the Scarlet King? According to the lore given to us by the Dust and Blood Tablet, he's technically an elder god, born into a whole race of godlike beings in the vast abyss below the Tree of Life. Already before he even developed his later powers, it's clear that this puts the Scarlet King into an entirely different weight class to any human beings, even anomalously enhanced ones like Abel or Dr. Bright. It's very likely that the Scarlet King's very understanding of the concepts of life and death differ greatly from what we mere mortals think about the subject. But the Scarlet King isn't your granddad's elder god. He spent the first eons of his life becoming the greatest warlord that the multiverse has ever known, killing and consuming his own siblings in order to amass greater domination over the darkness below. As he slaughtered his way through the ancient divine hierarchy, he not only expanded his territory, he honed his skills as a combatant. Even against elder gods his own size, the Scarlet King is an almost unstoppable warrior, either slaughtering his godly foes or scarring them so bad that they bend the knee to him and devote the rest of their lives to service. In short, even without any of his allies or anomalous powers, he's a true master when it comes to one-on-one combat. The Scarlet King is also the kind of tyrant who leads from the front, wanting to get even more red on his iconic crimson armor. After all, what's the fun in starting wars with everyone if you don't get to bask in the glorious thrill of bloodshed and mass carnage, right? The Scarlet King is a big believer in loving what you do. Point is, we're looking at a warrior king who can slaughter gods and goddesses with his bare hands, and takes great pleasure in doing so. To him, humans are unusually intelligent ants, mocking him with their love of life, peace, order, and science. Well, for the most part, anyway. Physically, he's astonishingly powerful, but that still leaves him with certain handicaps. For example, his ability to traverse dimensions is not what he wants it to be. Thanks to the tireless work of groups like the SCP Foundation, every single one of his attempts to physically enter our universe has failed. However, this doesn't mean that he doesn't have the power to at least influence our world, even if he hasn't quite gotten the opportunity to personally slam dunk planet Earth into the sun yet. The Scarlet King, like a lot of eldritch beings beyond human comprehension, is able to drive human beings insane with the mere scope of his abilities, having easily broken the mind of Dr. Montauk when he learned of the Scarlet King's true nature. The Scarlet King is also capable of bringing out the worst in people, projecting his boundless desire for cruelty and malice into those vulnerable to him. As a truly ancient being, he's had eons of experience and could easily outsmart and destroy the psyche of any non-anomalous human being arrogant or foolish enough to try to face him. From his SCP-001 file as well as the classified documents on Procedure 110 Montauk, we also know that the Scarlet King is able to perceive things in our dimension in a limited fashion. While he isn't truly omniscient outside his own reality, like our traditional perception of the Abrahamic God, he can sense feelings and energies, his favorites being hate, cruelty, and violence. However, this strength can also be used against him, thanks to the Foundation's knowledge of how the Scarlet King's perceptive abilities work. For example, they were able to trick the Scarlet King into buying their lie about Procedure 110 Montauk, simply through a massive and coordinated information campaign that convinced a huge number of people that Procedure 110 Montauk actually was a horrifying act of profound inhumanity. And if it worked once in this fashion, it could be used to shield other things from the Scarlet King's knowledge, creating a huge weakness for this would-be conqueror. However, the Scarlet King doesn't need to wage his evil war alone. He is, after all, the Scarlet King, an evil monarch whose reign brings darkness and barbarism, and as such, he's indivisible from the forces who help him carry out his depraved goals. This segues nicely into our next question about the power level of the Scarlet King. What exactly are his supposed armies? Who are his boots on the ground? We'll start with the human and human adjacent. Probably the most common of the groups that the Foundation are forced to counter are Scarlet King cultists, such as members of groups like the Children of the Scarlet King. They may not be the largest group of interest or the most trained or well-funded, but they have one thing over all the other GOIs: truly boundless depravity. If you take a look over the full file for SCP-231,
We're doing my place. Fuck, I forgot where. There we are. Shit. Here we are. My room. My room. Good here. Well, I will see you in 5 years. I might be in a new city, might be still in this city, but I will not go to another dimension. I will be still here in this dimension. I'll be in a new city or a new town, who knows. But I'll see you in 5 years. Bye for now.